Okay, so just gone out and bought a brand new Tenere. Great bike, really like it. Plenty of power for what I need. You know, it's nice and quiet. Don't need to wear earplugs except for the wind noise when I've got the helmet on. But one issue I do have with it is just looking at the breathing on the engine, and you'll notice that the MT-07 guys on the Yamahas have done a lot to open them up. They can get quite a lot more power out of them. So just for comparison, I've pulled the muffler off my Tenere 700 and I've got this one off my CR, and I'd like to show you what we're dealing with here. So just for comparison, this is a 2007 CR 125, 1 inch ID pipe running through it. That's what we call a straight pipe though. This has very minimal baffling in it, has a perforated core with fiberglass packing to take some of the sound out. Minimal back pressure loss though. Good for racing applications, not so good for long distance adventure rides, and a little bit offensive around town for those of us that don't ride. Now, this is the obvious issue with the Tenere muffler. That inlet is, so it's about 40 mil on the inside, but when you look at the bit, that's not too bad. It's got a nice big square outlet looking thing until you look really close, and then you see this. There's quite a small hole there. This is what your 700cc twin is breathing through. It's breathing through about a 1 inch pipe, same as my 125 two-stroke. So the thing is, this muffler is very different to this one. This is an OEM muffler. You have seen guys will cut the tang off and then drill out this core. Now, I'm not too sure what's inside here, but this is a chambered type muffler versus the absorbent straight pipe. These ones are worth their weight in gold when it comes to getting your bike roadworthy when you go to sell it on or transfer registration. You need to really keep onto the OEM muffler if you can these days. It's just getting too hard to try and block something like this up. You wouldn't register a CR obviously, but I've got another bike that I've had to try and quieten down with an aftermarket muffler, and it's really difficult. So I'm a bit hesitant to just go out and mutilate this one and cut that out, but obviously if we can get a slightly larger outlet pipe in here, that may help us. So I'm keen to understand what exactly is going on inside this muffler, but I don't want to destroy it completely. Found this at a wrecker's. Cost me about $100, but for the purpose of finding out what a stock pipe looks like without actually destroying my own, I figured I'd find one with a bit of gravel rush already on it. Okay, so this pipe's obviously been in a bit of a crash. It's not too badly damaged, got a bit of a dent on it. It's almost a shame to destroy it really, but we'll try and dissect it respectfully for the purposes of engineering. that, less all the grinding dust. No, that is the inside of your muffler. First things, first impressions are it actually is a lot more simple than I was expecting. It's a lot more simple than a car muffler. For a chamber type muffler, typically a car muffler would have these tubes would extend all the way through, and then the gas would have to recirculate to get back to the outlet. The good thing here we can see is trying to do it this way so we get the light. The good thing we can see here is that the diameter of these is not too bad. It's actually quite reasonable. It's a bit bigger than what we've got up here at the outlet. The inlet is still much bigger than these, and one of the main things I'm keen to get out of this exercise is the spacing of these baffles. These are tuned, or should be tuned to your engine, so that sounds will bounce back and cancel each other out, so at particular RPM. So that's the science behind it. You could go through all the maths and do this all yourself, but without going through the modelling of the entire header collector system, I thought it's just as easy to see what the factory have done and perhaps make it flow a bit better. So the other thing to note, and this doesn't come as a surprise at all, is that it's essentially a fully encased in a insulating layer. So just like your straight pipe will have basically a baffle, some of this stuff, just a perforated stainless core, hasn't fallen apart like that one, and then it'll be wrapped in fiberglass. Well, this just has basically an entire muffler that's wrapped in this fiberglass sheet. And then yeah, so this is our outlet pipe. So I'll clean this up a bit and take it inside and start doing some modelling, because I still firmly believe that simply cutting this big hole out is not the answer. It's going to give you something that's obnoxiously loud. But I think there's a middle ground that can be reached here. Something that's maybe not as quiet, but not offensive either as a straight pipe. I unfortunately haven't had a chance to put too many kilometres on this Tenere, so I've got a good opportunity now to spend a bit of time in the shed and see if I can make it better. So when I can ride again, it's all set to go.